If you are sitting in front of an Apple Studio display right now, or if you have been holding off on buying one because you knew something massive was hiding just around the corner, stop whatever you are doing and listen closely. Because what is happening inside Apple Park right now is going to completely rewrite the rules of what a desktop monitor can do. For years, creative professionals, video editors, and hardcore tech enthusiasts across the United States have had a love-hate relationship with Apple's monitor lineup. We loved the gorgeous 5K resolution, the clean aluminum aesthetic, and the way it integrated seamlessly into the Mac OS ecosystem. But let's be completely honest with each other. For the price Apple was asking, we were stuck with a standard 60Hz refresh rate, standard dynamic range that lagged behind modern laptops, and an aging architecture that felt overdue for a serious reality check. But everything is changing. The supply chain whispers, the regulatory filings, and the deep code leaks coming straight out of Cupertino have finally laid bare the blueprint for what is next. And the details are staggering. We are looking at a complete architectural overhaul that fixes every single complaint people had about the first generation, while introducing display technologies that will make your current setup look like an artifact from the past. If you are planning your next major desk upgrade, if you run a heavy creative workflow, or if you just want to know whether you should buy right now or wait out the storm, you need to understand every single leak that has surfaced. Let's break down the massive hardware evolution coming to your desk, starting with the biggest panel upgrade Apple has ever attempted in this form factor. When the original Studio display dropped, it used a traditional IPS-style LCD panel clocked at 60 Hz with standard brightness limits. It was fine for basic office tasks and casual color work, but the moment you tried to push serious HDR content or scrub through high frame rate timelines, you could feel the ceiling. The leaks surrounding the new architecture point to a massive leap forward by introducing advanced mini-LED backlighting technology paired with local dimming zones. Think about what that actually means for your daily workflow. Instead of a uniform backlight that bleeds gray into dark scenes, mini-LED allows individual clusters of the display to turn off completely or ramp up to blinding levels of brightness. Rumors from deep inside the supply chain indicate peak HDR brightness targets pushing toward numbers we normally associate with high-end reference displays, potentially hitting up to 2000 nits for extreme dynamic range content. That means true blacks, zero blooming, and contrast ratios that make your timeline pop with a level of realism that standard monitors simply cannot touch. But the display panel is only half the story. The biggest pain point for anyone coming from a modern MacBook Pro or an iPad Pro was the jarring stutter of dropping back down to 60 Hz on a desktop monitor. Apple is finally addressing this head-on. Code discoveries from recent internal builds point directly to the arrival of promotion variable refresh rate technology coming to the desktop display family, pushing speeds up to 120 Hz. Imagine moving your windows, scrolling through massive timeline sequences, and navigating dense code or high-resolution photo libraries with absolute silky smooth fluidity. The days of desktop motion blur compared to your laptop screen are officially numbered. Underneath that sleek glass, Apple is also completely replacing the internal silicon brain. The original model relied on an older smartphone chip to handle audio processing, camera feeds, and basic system tasks. The latest hardware leaks confirm an upgrade to a vastly more powerful Apple Silicon processor, pointing toward elements from the A-series lineup like the advanced A19 architecture. Why does a monitor need a high-end smartphone chip? Because processing raw video streams from an upgraded ultra-wide camera, running complex on-device calibration, handling advanced spatial audio calculations, and managing lightning-fast data routing requires serious computational power. This new chip acts as an independent powerhouse inside your monitor, ensuring that every pixel, every color profile, and every audio channel is calibrated to absolute perfection without stealing resources from your Mac Studio or MacBook Pro workstation. Speaking of connectivity, this is where the leaks turn into an absolute game-changer for heavy professional workflows. The industry has been shifting toward faster, more unified single-cable solutions, and Apple is answering that call by integrating cutting-edge Thunderbolt 5 ports. If you work with massive 8K video files, multi-stream workflows, or lightning-fast external RAID storage arrays, Thunderbolt 5 opens up unprecedented bandwidth pipelines. We are talking about data transfer speeds that make old connections look entirely obsolete. Even better, because of the massive bandwidth increase provided by Thunderbolt 5, Apple is engineering these displays to support seamless multi-monitor daisy chaining. You can link multiple high-resolution displays together off a single cable coming straight from your host machine without experiencing bottlenecks, lag, or resolution drops. For creative professionals working in multi-monitor studios across New York, Los Angeles, or anywhere else where desk real estate and clean cable management mean everything, this feature alone justifies the anticipation. Let's talk about the physical design and how it fits into your workspace. Bloomberg reports and reliable supply chain insiders have noted that the overall exterior shell will maintain that iconic, minimalist aesthetic we have all come to recognize. Apple isn't reinventing the physical silhouette because the core aluminum chassis, thin bezels, and modular stand options are already an industry benchmark. Instead, all the engineering budget went entirely where it matters, behind the glass and under the hood. You will still have your choice of standard glass or Apple's legendary nanotexture glass option for diffusing ambient office glare, paired with adjustable stands or VISA mounting flexibility. But make no mistake, while the outside looks familiar, the engineering inside is light years ahead of what's sitting on desks right now. The big question on everyone's mind across the tech community is simple: who is this machine actually built for, and when can you realistically expect to put one on your desk? Throughout the tech sector, industry analysts have pointed to a strategic rollout aligned with next-generation desktop workstations. Apple's product cadence targets creators who demand absolute color accuracy, photographers who need reference-grade reliability, and video editors who spend 10 hours a day staring into a timeline. If you are editing Dolby Vision HDR content, grading color for cinematic projects, or building complex 3D digital environments, standard consumer monitors will always fall short. You need a device that speaks the exact same color language as your capture and editing pipeline, delivering native P3 wide color gamuts and precise calibration tools right out of the box. And let's not overlook the built-in multimedia experience. Apple is carrying forward its high-fidelity 6-speaker sound system featuring force-canceling woofers and spatial audio support, alongside an upgraded ultra-wide camera equipped with center stage and desk view capabilities.